Are you confident of a deal by Wednesday, Prime Minister? Are you expecting a cabinet mutiny tomorrow, Prime Minister?
British Prime Minister Theresa May finds herself fighting for a Brexit deal on multiple fronts. This was her message to Parliament on Monday.
So much of these negotiations are necessarily technical, but the reason this all matters is because it affects the future of our country. It affects jobs and livelihoods in every community. It is about what kind of country we are and about our faith in our democracy. Of course, it is frustrating that almost all of the remaining points of disagreement are focused on how we manage a scenario which both sides hope should never come to pass and which, if it does, will only be temporary. We cannot let this disagreement derail the prospects of a good deal and leave us with the no-deal outcome that no one wants.
On Sunday, talks with the EU had seemed close to agreement on the terms of Britain's exit, but largely over attempts to avoid a hard border on the island of Ireland, they collapsed. Mrs May's plan to keep the whole UK inside the EU's customs union for the duration of talks on a future trade deal met opposition from pro-Brexit ministers and factions in her own party who complain it would limit Britain's ability to strike trade deals outside the EU. The EU, meanwhile, insists the UK honour its earlier commitment to keep the territory of Northern Ireland inside the single market as a backstop should trade talks fail. Theresa May's unionist partners in Northern Ireland responded by threatening to withdraw their support for her minority government. It was always going to be a difficult week for Theresa May and the British government, but it's become much harder. Hard to see how she can achieve any sort of unity within her own cabinet, with senior ministers said to be considering their positions over the latest proposals. Hard to see how she can achieve much at all with EU leaders in Brussels on Wednesday night. And hard to see, frankly, how any meaningful deal can emerge at all in present circumstances between the UK and the EU. And there's increasing talk of a no-deal scenario, Britain crashing out of the EU with nothing but World Trade Organization rules to govern future relations. Time to panic?
Are you a little worried?
Be patient.
You're patient.
Be
Okay.
patient.
Be patient.
Not yet, according to the EU's chief Brexit negotiator. Perhaps all is not lost. Jonah, Al Jazeera, London.